Merry fucking Christmas. Um, it is the final Drinks with Raoul of the year. And what a year it's been. I mean, these have been a lot of fun. Getting to know you lot, answering your questions. Again, remember, realvision.com /join. Join up to Real Vision. You can ask me questions there. I'll get through as many questions as I can. If you're on X or on YouTube, you're a leper, and I'm sorry I won't speak to you. That's the way it is. But it's been a hell of a year, and because it's Christmas time, we've rolled out the big guns. Because I know for you guys, it's important that you drink the right things, because you're at the age now where you've got to stop drinking cheap shit that you did as a student and you need to civilize yourselves. And I've been trying my journey, nothing about crypto or anything else. It's just civilizing the Philistines and getting you lot, particularly all of the New World people, the Americans and the Australians. You need help, and I'm trying to help. So what we've got today is how we kicked this all off in the beginning. This is one of the great champagnes, one of my true loves, Bollinger Rosé. Bollinger is outside of Dom Perignon, which is even more expensive. Bollinger to me is the most balanced, rounded, complex, regular champagne you can buy. The bottle is slightly different with the thin neck. It's got different weight and feel to it, but it's got this lovely kind of toastiness. But the kind of fruit that comes from the rosé side is spectacular. Now, what most people don't realize is that a lot of these wines are all actually made with red grapes, but without the skins, and that's what gives them the light color. And then there's a bit of grape juice that sometimes gets added for this, or from the grape skin itself, to gives it that. But it also gives it this fruitier flavor. And I find the Bollinger Rosé has this perfect balance. It's the sort of balance that, well, it's difficult. I don't want to start insulting you all too soon, but it's a very fine champagne, and it will make a good change from the Bud Light and Doritos Cool Ranch dressing specials that you guys do. I had to talk to somebody earlier, and they were asking me, when it comes to crappy snacks, what is the crappy snack of choice? Now, if you're a Brit, there was a big debate about Twiglets versus Monster Munch pickled onion flavor. I'll take that. But what have I got today as snacks? Well, for old time's sake, I've got my favorite toasted pumpkin seeds. They're still warm. They just came out of the oven 10 minutes ago. So again, I take green pumpkin seeds. They're really healthy, really good for you. Extra virgin olive oil, put them in the oven, roast them about 15, 20 minutes. When they're starting going brown, take them out, let them sit for a little bit. They then crunch up as the oils cook the shells a bit as well. And then sprinkle with Malden sea salt. Again, Malden sea salt, none of that stupid shit with the iodine added in. You want good quality salt. My body is my temple. Forget the vape you saw earlier. That's nothing to do with it. It's that wasn't true. And so you've got this very, oh God, somebody's at my front door now. Fuck, sorry. I'm going to have to do that. So you can go to realvision.com /join. The chaos is always here. I will talk through my snacks. We'll talk wine, and then we'll get going. One sec. realvision.com /join, so I can answer your questions. I'm watching you. So, good to be the king. I've just been delivered at the door while you lot are signing up. A gift, I think it's from Chris Nyers, who runs the Real Vision RVIP Club. A beautiful selection of Gevrey Chambertin, Pellini Montrachet, and some Cava, and a bottle of Bollinger Rosé. So I think it's from Chris, which is incredibly kind of him. He knows my taste by now. The RVI people, well, they have real taste. Let me just double check. Chris and Karen, thank you guys. I appreciate it. So there we go. Real-time gifts. Hopefully you're on the platform. We could ask questions. The other snack I've got for today is Japanese seaweed. And it's that salty crunch, but again, it's light. It's kind of keto friendly. And it goes really well with champagne. That kind of sea freshness that goes with it counterbalances the umami depth of the nuts, but goes really, really well with champagne. Champagne's so good because it cleans the palate. It's very balanced across the palate. Remember, I've told you before how wines across the palate do different things. If it's got a lot of structure or too much tannin, it's right down the middle. If it's kind of flabby California, the cheap stuff like Gallo, it's all across the palate because it's just sugar and sweet and crap. It's like glycerine. Great wines have that depth of palate. They need to have that structure and they need to have some breadth, but not too much where it becomes flabby. And a great champagne, it's really the middle 2/3 of your palate and then the sharpness at the edge that makes your mouth water. And that's the bit I talk about, which is the aperitivos. It's the thing that builds appetite. And that's why we do it. And we have it with snacks so we don't get shit-faced too quickly. And also, it's again a way of getting the stomach prepared for an evening of fine food, of which I will be having this evening. So now you've got your drink set up. I don't know what you are drinking. Obviously, as ever, please drop your drinks in the chat. We'll talk about it on the Real Vision chat. If you're on YouTube and X, still want to hear from you. It's important we help educate each other. Actually, there's a good point about this, is there is a Real Vision member, and if somebody can drop this into the chat on Real Vision, there's a member that is keeping notes of all of the snacks and all of the wines that I've recommended across all of these drinks with Raoul, so you can follow it along. So if somebody could do me the favor, just drop it in the chat on Real Vision, on the permanent comments section, not in the chat, if not it goes. Then everybody can look at that note, you can click on it, you can pin it and save it and bookmark it, so you can review all the wines as we go. And it's there for you to also add your own recommendations. It's a chat, it's a permanent chat that we talk about food and wine because frankly, you guys need it. Because I've seen some of the stuff you drink, you tag me on Twitter and say, is this all right? I'm like, no, it's not all right. It's terrible. It's truly, truly awful. So let's talk about 2024 a little bit. I mean, I feel incredibly blessed because I've had one of the best years of all time. And this is since I discovered the everything code, it's become kind of weird. I mean, I've been in this business for a long time and you'd have a year that was up 30%, and that's like, holy shit, you've done well. And now, I don't know, I've had so many 100, 200% plus years that I can't fathom it anymore. The world has changed so much because of the gift of the opportunity of both crypto and technology stocks, and having this everything code that I've talked so much about as a way to understand this world and give us a framework. As I always said, it's never going to be perfect, but it's been pretty good. So this year, I think the best trade we did was actually equity. It was Tesla. I just said for a long time, Tesla is every single component part of the exponential age, and the business cycle hasn't picked up yet. So they're not selling as many cars as people would like them to, but people are misunderstanding this stock. Obviously, Elon then takes over the entire US government and is now not only the richest, but the most powerful person in the world, and will probably end up being the most important person in all history, like him or don't. Tough shit. That's what's happening. Tesla's taken off. And we had the $260 call options. They're up 10x already. And they expire next June. So I kind of think it's going to be a 20 or 30x trade on that one. Rocket Labs, that was a killer. That was a company that I'd found, thought was interesting, put the trade on, and it did 300%, between 200 and 300%. Whether you're global macro investor guys, I think got 300%, 200% in Real Vision Pro Macro. You can accuse me of many things. My entire track record is recorded for 20 years. So all of the bullshit, and we keep talking about this, the bullshit about Luna, blah, blah, blah. It's never been in my portfolio list. Everything is there. Every trade, Bitcoin, ETH, every losing trade, the terrible years like 2009, that's all in GMI. Pro Macro has been going since 2017. The track record's there as well. So Rocket Labs was a killer. Last year was great because I got Solana bang on, and that was an 11x over the year. And this year it's been Sui. Sui has been the killer trade. And I still think it's going to be the killer trade for the rest of this cycle of the bigger caps. It has been astonishingly strong. It remains strong, and any opportunity, as soon as the market goes up, it goes up more than anything else. It's one of the benefits of a limited free float with a lot of attention and demand is it goes up more than anything else. And so I still think this is going to be one of the main dominant players. I've been switching Solana to Sui. Again, if you're in Pro Macro, you'll know more about this, or in GMI, much more about this. But I've been switching over time, and that's been a phenomenal switch versus Solana. So we had that trade right. We've had all of our technology basket is outperformed the Nasdaq, so that's been great. We've had the Nasdaq as well, and that's been great. We've had Doge, and that's been great. We've had, I mean, pretty much every single trade apart from carbon, the EU carbon allowances, and that's really because the last time we did that trade, we did 100, 200%. But this time it is not picked up yet, and it's because the business cycle has been below 50 for so long, i.e. the ISM. You need the business cycle to pick up, and then everything picks up. And we've got this bifurcated economy where tech stocks are doing well, parts of the economy are doing well, but actually kind of manufacturing and normal stuff for normal people is still sluggish. So you've got this weird dichotomy where markets driven by liquidity and the technology cycle are doing well. But reality, most businesses, most of us lot, we're not getting wage rises. We're not seeing our businesses ramping up yet. If you're running a small business, you're probably not saying we're killing it or crushing it right now. If you're in the real estate business, you're probably like, we're not really crushing it. And it's because the business cycle is still low. That's still all to come. The Fed need to bring down rates, and they've not done enough yet because inflation's been a bit stickier because of the year-on-year comparisons and a bunch of other stuff. But today, Powell, JPO, has nicely nuked all the markets for us, which is a joy, and it's very kind of him to do. In fact, let's cheers to Jay. We appreciate you nuking the Nasdaq 3.7% by saying nothing unexpected, which is like, yeah, we're going to cut 25, and we'll be data dependent, and we'll see when things come lower or unemployment goes higher. It's like, really? But everybody is oh, sorry, there's a friend slacking me. I mean, he's a bit of a dick, so he's not really a friend. He's sending me a Slack pictures of him eating. Oh, he's actually got wine. Normally it's Bud Light and Doritos, but he's not. He's got some sort of awful cheese spread and cheap crackers, but it's an upgrade from he's American, and I can't really help him. Anyway, back to J Pal. So yeah, he was WhatsApping me. So what we're seeing is the market kind of recalibrating, like, oh, they're never going to cut rates again. If you're armed with the everything code, you're going to fucking have to, because if not, you'll lose control of the bond market, in which case you have to use yield curve control, which is the same as more cowbell, which is more stimulus. So we know that they're going to bring it down. He's already said he's still biased to do this. He says, well, we're kind of neutral now, but we want to bring rates down. And the dot plots say they want to bring rates down, but they've raised the bar a little bit for this. So that means any weaker data gives them the opportunity to get rates down. As rates come down, it lowers the mortgage rates, which actually lowers inflation. So they want to do that. The other thing that I think Jay Powell wants to do, and certainly Scott Bessent when he comes in, is they need to weaken the dollar. The dollar plus rates has caused financial conditions to tighten, which is our global liquidity. And I'll come onto that a little bit later when I talk a bit more about the banana zone where we are. But we've had actually financial conditions tightening somewhat. And I think they're going to unwind that. So I don't think there's anything that's not expected. The other thing nobody's actually thought through is Elon is basically saying he will shut down the government in order to get rid of the budget they were trying to pass. It's like this thick. It's fucking nonsense. So he's going to try and fight that fight, which means there'll be a government shutdown. Will it be the shortest or the longest shutdown? I don't know. But Auntie Janet has 775 billion in her bank account to spend, which is a net injection of liquidity from the Treasury General account. That will likely be released. People haven't figured this out yet. Massive liquidity. Jay also said that he's going to cut the reverse repo a little bit further than expected. And the idea is to drain the reverse repo and put it into the banking system. That's about another 100 billion. So there's about $875 billion of stimulus that's potentially out there to come. If they cut the reverse repo, they're likely to end QT, because if not, the banks will end up with no capital. So QT may end as well. So all I can see going forward is liquidity, liquidity, liquidity. We also see a potential soft patch. Again, Julian Battelle and myself in Real Vision Plus in the macro investing tool MIT have been talking about potential growth slowdown. Again, I'm going to keep plugging Real Vision because you lazy fuckers haven't joined. Most of it's free, but when you pay, you get the real alpha. So again, realvision.com/join. Because if not, I'm just doing this for you for free, which is very nice. I don't get paid anything on the ads. I make like $5,000 a month, of which that goes to pay Paul's wine habit, who manages the channel. So let's get serious. Go across to Real Vision. But the macro investing tool, which is unbelievably good, probably the most popular thing we've ever made, and that's Julian Battelle's service and myself. That's our macro framework for people to navigate markets and what's going on. In that, we've talked very much about a growth slowdown coming in Q1. So I think there is going to be a growth slowdown. Sorry, I've got people messaging it for me. I'm going to turn off my WhatsApp because it's irritating the shit out of me. That was Andreas Steno Larsen talking about his inbox is full of people panicking about markets, which he said, I take that as a bullish sign. I do too. So Andreas, you're supposed to be in bed. You're in Denmark. So I've now lost my train of thought about Jay Powell, but yes, the Q1 thinks it's going to be weaker than expected, and therefore it'll give the Fed cover. It'll allow rates to fall. I'll come on to this later, but this is a complete rerun of 2016-17. So anyway, the year has been great. The Everything Code has completely nailed it for us. If we've got one thing wrong, two things wrong. One is we expected inflation to be a little bit lower by now, but because rates have not come lower, this kind of weird duality issue. But rates are relatively low anyway. I mean, inflation is relatively low, but I think we'll see rates come lower. The business cycle, our forward-looking indicators are screaming higher. Show you that later. But ISM is still subdued, and we need ISM to go up so we can all earn more money, because the business cycle is actually what drives us. We're not tech giants who can just print money out of thin air by building AI tools. Most of us have to earn something and make something for a living, and we need demand, and that's not there yet. But overall, hopefully I've really helped you guys. I've been trying to unfuck your future. I've been trying to educate you guys, help you, also civilize you. Let's just have a little drink first. That is good. So damn good. I've been trying to help you develop your own frameworks and understanding. I still see the panic that rolls around. I understand. All of our wealth is in this trade. Mine too. I'm no different to you guys. But you can't panic on every 5% pullback. It's just going to be top. Somebody posts something on Twitter. Oh my God, it's all over. I put a poll out. My mind is fucking blown. I put a poll out saying, what do you think is the peak of the cycle? 65% of people think the cycle peaks at 150,000 Bitcoin. Maybe I'm wrong, but that sounds like PTSD to me. It sounds crazy considering what's happening in US politics, regulation. It sounds crazy when all the liquidity still lies ahead. It would be ridiculous versus any other cycle. So, but I could be wrong. I've been wrong in the past. I'll be wrong again in the future. But I can see the PTSD and the fear because it matters so much to everybody. And as we go into next year, I will be trying to guide you on just taking some goddamn lifestyle chips off the table. I don't know when the right time is. and you'll be panicking because the market will fall 20%. You're like, oh my God, I've missed the opportunity. You haven't. I mean, the market's up so much from when most of you guys bought it. But we'll take some lifestyle chips off and you guys can then calm down. I know it's important to everybody. I know this is the biggest bet everybody's ever taken in their entire careers. And if it isn't, I don't know what's wrong with you, because this is the greatest opportunity of all time. But the banana zone will help us. The banana zone will move to the banana singularity when everything goes up at the same time. And then you'll take some money off the table and you will hate doing it, but you will thank me at some point. And then we'll figure out the rest of the cycle as we go. Okay. So I've now boasted about how amazing I am. I've obviously got the greatest taste in food and wine. I'm pretty good looking. I've got a fantastic accent. Obviously got a nice house. I drink fine wines. I teach you how to have good snacks. And I've given you fucking killer trade ideas. But I am the bozo. And let me show you why. So I've told you my best trade was a 10x in Tesla call options. I don't know what the pro macro portfolio's up. 100 and something percent is the average trade. Let me show you how our members have done on Real Vision. This is why I keep asking you to join Real Vision. And a bunch of you, there's like 30 or 40,000 of you watching this on X right now. And it's fine, but here is our leaderboard of our trade ideas. Members give trade ideas in Real Vision. Thousands of members. The leaderboard, Joe Bland is crushing it with 2 still active quantum computing plays. He came out of nowhere and is up 10x and 8x. We've got John Shoemaker. I don't know when I don't know what that one is, the BTC. It's close. Fartcoin has rocketed into the top 4. That was not there 3 days ago. 530%. Couple of H-bar, Rocket Labs, Melvin taking my idea, putting it in. Did he write a trade idea up? Yeah, so he wrote the trade idea up and said, after reading the report, that was my report that I wrote in Real Vision Pro Macro about Rocket Labs, and watching the documentary Wild Wild Space, I've decided to dollar cost average into Rocket Labs. Melvin crushed it. XRP, Orca, XRP, Aave. So it's a mixture of crypto, macro. So the real killer trades are our community. It's not me. I'm not the alpha. You guys are the alpha. The Real Vision community is the alpha. The Real Vision community is much smarter than all of us individually. You'll find incredible trade ideas as people post them. You will post them too. That's why you join Real Vision, because the magic is in the network. It's not in me. I'm just the front man who shows off about what fine wine he has. I'm just going to stop sharing this, Peter. I know you need to be told. I'm just the front man who drinks fine wines and does the monkey show on TV. But our members, they're cool as shit. Real Vision, there's nothing like this. It's a network that's sole purpose is to help you succeed in your financial future. Everybody is working together to do it. Me, Andreas Stena Larsen, Julian Bittel, all of the members, every guest, we're all trying to do the same thing. We're trying to navigate the next 6 years to make as much money as possible. So come and join us, realvision.com/join. Those of you on Real Vision, put your bloody trade ideas in and also write notes. I want to see more notes, and I want you to publish research. I want you to make people think. I want you to start, soon you'll get notifications when, I think in the next day or two, when people comment on your notes. I want conversations in your notes and on your trade ideas. I want us all to go down the rabbit hole of what Joe Bland is doing, because within this, trust me, the magic will happen. It is not listening to one of us lot talking heads. It's not that. It's all of us. And also go and check out the wine note. So before we move on, talking about community, and this is your cue, Peter. I'm trying to sound like a slick TV presenter. Talking of community, we have 150 tickets left to our event in Miami, the Crypto Gathering. These tickets have been selling out ultra fast. It is on the 30th of January through to the 1st of February. I'm there. A lot of the rock stars of Real Vision there. And there's going to be at least 500 Real Vision members from all across the globe. And it's not a stupid conference with that awful cold salmon and terrible chicken dish and some vegetarian dish. And where you're shuffling around with a name badge saying, "Oh, who are you?" And then listening to the same person speak on stage that you've seen on Real Vision 16 times. No. Real Vision does it differently. It's cool as shit. What we have is just experiences scattered all over Miami. Drinks parties, breakfast, coffees, cycling tours, boat tours, you name it, all together with members. There's none of the VIP tickets left, but all of the regular tickets are there. There's so many cool events happening. You can sign up to events. There'll be a big Real Vision party as well. It'll be a hell of an extravaganza. You'll meet people who actually care about what we care about. Because you know what it's like? You go out with your friends or your family, and they literally don't give a shit about what we care about. Crypto, macro, and exponential age of technology. They're like, oh, they want to tell you about their latest Chevy Tahoe or whatever it is. And you're like, I don't care. But when you go there, you'll meet people who care. You'll meet people doing cool stuff, interesting people, those people that are putting up 10x trade ideas in a month. Those are the people you'll meet. So come and join us at the Crypto Gathering. There's a few tickets left, as I said. So it's realvision.com/crypto gathering. Cue the video. So within this, we have parties. You can choose the VIP track, and then you might be on a boat party and you're doing something else and going for a dinner there or meeting people in different venues and bars. So there's lots going on. It's like a mad treasure hunt. I like the idea of just hanging out with you guys, drinking a rum or a glass of champagne and putting the world to rights and just really celebrating you as our members and our community. And it's a thank you for that as well. It'll be an incredible event. Listen, get your tickets quick before they sell out. This is the event you've been waiting for. Come and join us for the Crypto Gathering. We will have an absolute blast. Cool, eh? Come to Miami. It'll be a lot of fun. I'll definitely be there. And so will all of the rock stars. Another person I didn't mention is Jamie Coots. Jamie's fucking amazing. He's one of the best crypto analysts in the world. He's on Real Vision as well. He'll be there, flying in from Australia to talk crypto with you. You'll get experiences with a lot of people and not on stage. They'll be with you at dinner. They'll be with you at a drinks party. They'll be with you on a boat. So we get to meet the people that you watch on Real Vision all the time and get to know them as friends. That's what Real Vision is. It's a network. It's a true network. So the other thing you've got to do is I will be answering questions. I'm going to give you some alpha, as I always do. I have to give you alpha. I understand my job here. Alpha is wine. Alpha is lifestyle. But alpha is also markets talk. So I'll give you that in a sec. But go to realvision.com/join so you can ask me questions about the alpha I'm giving you. Those of you who are Real Vision members, you'll recognize these charts because these were the ones specifically for the Banana Zone Festival of Learning event. So it's just a recap for those who haven't seen it because they're not Real Vision members. And so, they're kind of lesser people, but they'll come across because it's free to join. Why the hell would you not? realvision.com/join. Yeah, I'll wait for a sec before I do the alpha. Gotta earn your fucking alpha. Because I know a bunch of you watching, 40 odd thousand are watching this on X right now. You can't be bothered to leave X. So just open a different browser window, join the bloody thing, stay on X. Really good. Really good. Okay. It's a little bit of alpha, and then we'll go to questions. I'm expecting wine questions, lifestyle questions, travel questions, any fucking questions. And hopefully I can insult you when you do them. Okay, let's go to some alpha. Peter, I'm going to share that chart pack. Let me go to the right chart to start with. Here we go. Boom. No, that's not. That's my desktop. Let's do that again. Boom. Okay. So while Peter's just reframing that for you. So this is the chart you're all worried about. You're like, oh my God, we're all going to die. I mentioned this on Twitter. You're over indexing on the fact that liquidity is going to draw and it will bring price down. Are we having it now? I don't know. I don't think so. I think we actually have another push into year end because this chart suggests that it actually goes into year end, but I'm not expecting perfection. So maybe this is the drawdown, but it looks terrifying on the chart. But we've seen all of this before. And let me show you. So here's Bitcoin last time Trump came in. It rallied into the end of the year and then corrected 27%. And then it just went up. And alts outperformed because alt season happened. Now, that was driven by exactly the same factors. Trump getting in, dollar went up, tariffs, oh my God, and rates went up. Oh my God, tariffs are inflationary. What happened as soon as Trump got in is he said, we don't want a strong dollar, and rightly so. I think they'll say that again. And the dollar weakened and rates went down for the entire next year. Even though the Fed were raising rates in 2027, the long end was going down in yield. That setup is likely to happen again. So we're getting into this perfect setup that whatever the correction is, things will rally. Now, it was Bitcoin that had the bigger sell-off. Other things like ETH sold off less and then rallied back in that period. So we don't know what happens. Let's zoom in here on the chart of Bitcoin. There it is, the Trump victory, this rally in Bitcoin, the correction, and then it did 23x. Yeah, 23x. Are we going to do 23x? Absolutely not. Are we going to do 5x from here? I don't know. Probably. You know, my base case is 250 worse, 500 plus in a blow off top market. Who knows what we get, but 2017 feels like it's the best play so far, and I'll reassess the odds. So anybody wants to clip this off and says Raoul Pal claims it's going to 500,000 plus is a fucking liar. I don't work that way. I use probabilistic frameworks, and all of those people who try and do gotchas. I'm so tired of it. I'm so tired of all of these people like Don, what's his name? Fucking Fred Krueger. Like every time I mention a meme coin, it's like Raoul Pal says everybody should buy all their meme coins and speculate. You all know I've given you the don't fuck this up thesis, which it says that all of the stupid shit outside the top 5 tokens should amount to less than 10% of your portfolio. So listen, if you see that kind of bad behavior online, I do appreciate it if you just tell them to fuck off and, well, no, actually politely correct them and to say that's not true. That is not what Raoul says. Like, I'm not saying it's going to 500,000. I have a probabilistic framework. I think it's possible, but I don't think it's the most likely thing. So, each time we've had these kind of transitions into the new government, we have this breakout, and that should continue higher. Don't see why this can't go 200,000 plus. I mean, it would look pretty basic on this chart, even if we have a law of diminishing returns in the Bitcoin cycle. So for me, it feels good. If I look at the global M2, which is another way of measuring liquidity, look, every time we get to election year, you have this tightening of liquidity. We had it in 2016, and then 17 it expanded. We saw it in 2020, then it expanded, and now we've got it again. It kind of retests the breakout and keeps going. Global liquidity is actually driven by the dollar. So it is going to be about the dollar, and things can change, and I could be wrong. So the dollar is the main thing. The dollar last time, it's been following the 2017 election cycle really well. 2016, 17, and it should say this last leg in the dollar, next few days and stuff should be the end of the dollar rally, and then that will ease up global M2. We know the Chinese have to start stimulating, but they can't do it with the dollar so strong because they don't want to weaken their currency too much. So they need the US in the game. Everybody knows the game. They all understand the game. It's just a matter of timing. So be patient. We've got the liquidity of the Treasury General account coming and the reverse repo and the end of QT. That's all coming. We've got potentially and hopefully a weaker dollar. That's to come. We should see rates come lower because expectations now for only two rate rises, rate cuts, all of next year. Well, anything that produces weaker data will produce more rate cuts. So we've got a perfect storm coming up, and that's the banana zone thesis. Is this the start of the big correction, or is this a quick shakeout so you people can't hold on to your coins into year end when we get a rally? I mean, the last two election cycles, we finished the end of the year with a big rally. I don't see why this is different. So I'd be careful, not of the market correction. We should expect that. Part of don't fuck this up is expect 30% corrections frequently. But please don't think about, well, I need to hedge this, close my tokens, buy them lower, blah, 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 blah. You should be prepared to accept the volatility because that's what gives you the gains. If not, you might well be chasing it into year end. By the time you chase it all get long, into, let's say, January 6th, then the market reverses. Just don't get involved in that. Your job is to hold, to own your tokens, don't trade, don't use leverage, just do nothing. Just have a wry smile on your face, drink a fine glass of Bollinger Rosé, roast your own pumpkin seeds, and laugh at the madness of Twitter and the complete emotional cycle. And again, we've all got all of our money tied up in this. I am the same as you. I don't want to fuck this up. I don't want you to fuck this up. I want to take us all in the best way I can over the next 5 years. And these years are the important ones. So just lock in, focus. Let's see what other charts I want to show you from this. There's a lot of stuff about blah, 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 bond yields falling, financial conditions going up. Business cycle about to improve. That's fully fed. ISM versus fully fed tells you the business cycle is about to pick up massively. It won't be inflationary, but we should start to see the business cycle pick up. That's going to be good for all of us. It means we're going to make a bit more money in our businesses. We're going to start to feel a little bit more at ease. We'll be able to invest more money. We'll be able to do stuff like that. But the key thing is when the ISM picks up, it drives the ETH Bitcoin cross. The ETH Bitcoin cross has been a beautiful pattern where we've been, this is a little bit out of date, it's pulled back a tad, but it's still the same. It's like, this is a fucking wedge pattern. Now, does it break to new all-time highs? I kind of think it might do, but even if it doesn't, it's big range, big sloppy range. It means that ETH is at the low end of its range and it'll probably get back to the high end of its range and it remains stable in its relationship versus Bitcoin. I think that is to come, and that's driven by the business cycle driving risk taking across assets. But when we come into that, the business cycle going up is the key trigger for altcoin season. And why is that? Again, what we need is more disposable income to invest. And what we all do is we want to go out the risk curves and make as much money as possible in the shortest period of time. That is the world we live in because we are so fucked. We're so fucked because of how high housing prices are, the cost of goods and food, how restaurants. I was in New York City. It was $330 on my own for dinner at a fancy-ish French restaurant, not like a 3-star Michelin. It's insane out there. So we have to make a lot of money. I get it. I get it. I get that things are a lot more expensive for many of us or for all of us. And the only way of getting ahead is speculating. I get it. So I want to help you speculate intelligently. And altcoin season is there. That doesn't mean go way out the risk curve. But here's the total market cap of crypto, excluding the top 10. So this is really alts. It does this every time. It has this consolidation wedge pattern, breakout higher. We've just started breaking out. So have patience, hold on, and it'll also get rid of many of our sins, the stupid shit you've got in your portfolio. I think it will help with that too. So that lies ahead. The Bitcoin, this ridiculously over colorful chart that Julian puts together. If you've got color blindness, this is utterly useless for you. But basically, all it's saying is usually the full pattern is very strong. The only reason the full pattern was not strong in 2021, and this is really important, I'm going to say this again, 2021 is not the roadmap. What happened in 2021, because of the violence of the downside in 2020, the upside was equally violent in the business cycle. And the ISM peaked in March of 2021. Right now, we're still below 50. There is no fucking chance the business cycle peaks. And none of our indicators suggest anything that this crypto market is anywhere near overbought. This is our Z-score indicator, whatever the fuck that means. It's Julian Bittle. He's smarter than me. Well, he thinks he is, because he can use long words and things like Z-scores, which I don't really know. But anyway, basically, we're not overbought at all. We're nowhere near any of this. Our GMI cycle top indicator, again, you do get this in Real Vision Plus as part of the MIT tool occasionally, and also in Pro Macro. We're nowhere there. We're nowhere there. So we are in this perfect position where we just keep following this roadmap. This is all I need. This is all anybody needs. You don't need any of the rest of the charts. You don't even need to log on to Twitter. You don't need to do anything, but just use this. Use this one chart of Bitcoin in its log regression channel and suggest it probably goes to 2 standard deviations overbought. What is that? Well, that's kind of north of 500,000. So maybe it goes to 1 standard deviation. That's about 300,000. That looks pretty reasonable to me. That's what every fucking NASDAQ stock has done since 2012. So it's not like some special magic property of Bitcoin. No, it's Metcalfe's law. Amazon has done this. Microsoft has done this. Apple has done this. Tesla has done this. Meta has done this. It's all the same. So I'm not asking a lot here. I'm just saying it just continue to be adopted as a technology and everything continues to go. And in the end, what we're all waiting for is this little puppy, the banana zone. The banana zone has started, and we barely started. And you freaking out, this stupid, oh my God, it's going to correct 20%. Look at Raoul's chart of liquidity. That's this. If you can see it in 2017. That's this in 2021. In 2013, we didn't even get that. We got sideways. So if we get a bit of a correction here, does it make any difference? Or you're better off just going outside, touching grass, spending time with your family over Christmas, drinking a little too much Bollinger Rosé, learning how to toast your own snacks. Yeah. Everything else is just fucking. In the end, we're here for one thing and one thing only. I'm trying to help you understand that you can unfuck your future with a banana. All you have to do is not fuck this up. I'm trying my best. I won't get everything right. I'm sure you'll hate me at some point and you'll love me at other points. I'm doing my best for you. We're all in this together. I'm in this with you. And we'll navigate it the best we can. At Real Vision, we've got the best fucking team available to do it with you. You've got Jamie Cooch for the deep dives, Julian Bittel for the macro investing tool and Pro Macro, me with Pro Macro, Andreas Steno Larsen, Pro Macro, making sure that we've got differing views. We then bring on the greatest guests in the world. We bring on our members, people like Chris Bullock, to help us navigate this. It's all on Real Vision. It's there to unfuck your future with a banana. Those of you of Real Vision members, I thank you greatly. I think you can put in the comment section how we've helped you, because I think it's very important to realize how many lives we've changed. And I'm immensely proud of that. I'm immensely proud of the team at Real Vision for everything they've done to help all of you, because that's our job. Okay, so now we're going to go across and answer the questions only on the platform. So realvision.com/join. When you do the /join, it actually takes you to a landing page about you got 6 years to unfuck your life. That is very important. So if anything, just go to realvision.com/join and get that bloody document. Watch the video. Some of you will have watched it. Watch it again, because I'm trying, and everybody at Real Vision, including all of our guests, are trying to help you. Do that, or if you want to skip that bit, realvision.com, just sign up, and then you can ask me questions. I'm now going to flip to the questions. I'm going to stop sharing this. I'll have a drink of this. I'll have nicotine again. I know it was very split opinion last time. Raoul vaping on air, but fucking I've smoked since I'm 14. Terrible. Smoke cigarettes. And then you're in the Mediterranean, you're like, oh my God, everybody smokes cigarettes, drinks coffee, and you think you're so fucking cool until you feel like shit and you realize you need to change. And then vaping came along, and then crypto. And crypto means you become a nicotine addict without choice. I mean, almost everybody is. If they're not vaping, they're using Zyn. Because we all have our net worth on the line and we're 24/7. So, right, let's go to the platform for questions. Okay. Right. This is not working yet. Platform's working. It's just I didn't refresh my page. Maybe I've crashed it. Could do. We crash it quite a lot. I just had the entire management team here in Real Vision. One of the things is we need to ramp up the bandwidth. We've now got 100,000 or something free members, and it takes enormous bandwidth, because when I come on the platform, everybody does, and before you know it, we've broken everything. So I currently can't see the questions. Paul, I don't know if you can read any questions to me, because I can't see anything. Paul told me to go to X. I can't. I've got 16 windows open. So, and X doesn't get the questions. It has to come from the platform, which is now not functioning because we've got too many people on here, which I love. It's hilarious. We've broken the platform, everybody. So I appreciate you. La di da di da di da. La di da di da. You have questions, Paul? Go for it. I can't see anything. I can't load the website. Nothing's happening because there's too many of you degens after questions, and I love it. And this will all be recorded so you can watch it later. Paul, go. Josh Marsh asking for thoughts on long-term rates. I think they come lower. I honestly do. My base case has been they come down to 2.5% in this cycle, which is quite away from here. Maybe it's 3%. But I think they come lower. That eases mortgages. That helps the economy. I don't think inflation is the key issue here. We'll see a cyclical pickup in inflation later on in the cycle, but it's not an issue. So I think rates come lower, and I think we need them lower because we need to roll over stuff. Now, Rabbi has actually just sent me one. So Rabbi is our head of product. He's helping out here as well. Would you be very cautious on MicroStrategies after a cycle top? QQQ will help create a price floor, but I'm concerned about traditional bear market with margin call on debts, from Adam Mason. Adam, it's not a popular topic for me to talk about MicroStrategies because there is a lot of believers. I'm not sure that what they're doing is the issue. I don't think it's the leverage of MicroStrategies that's the issue. I think it's the 2x leverage ETFs. When they unwind, they're going to create a faster unwind. And then we've got the leverage that's inherent in the MicroStrategies ecosystem of the hedge funds buying the convertible bonds to get the options, to trade the options. They're doing this using prime broking, which is leverage. There's then people arbing the MicroStrategy's price versus the Bitcoin price. There's enormous amounts of leverage outside of MicroStrategies that gets layered on in this trade. And when it all trades at a discount, it becomes a big problem. And so I'm nervous of it, and I get it. Everyone thinks it's an infinite money glitch. Maybe it is. Maybe I'm the moron. I'm happy to deal with that. But there are risks outside of what Michael Saylor is doing that are less quantifiable. And I just don't want people to get hurt too much. Hold on, I've got more questions. I'm now being thrown questions from all sorts of places. I've got one from Jared Riley on MicroStrategies. Traded MicroStrategies for ETH ETF in late November, planning to adding more end of 2024. Listen, I don't know versus MicroStrategies because it's a weird, unique beast. I like the ETH trade. I think it does well. So I think ETH outperforms Bitcoin. Another one, this is a few on these MicroStrategies. David Van Wert. Raoul, thanks for unfucking my future. Thank you, my friend. I'm so pleased. We're not there yet. We're not through the other side. Once you've got lifestyle chips off the table, you can then thank me. Question: instead of taking all the chips off the table with Sol and Siri, what are your thoughts on flipping into stocks and selling options on MicroStrategy, Tesla for cash flow rather than taking chips out of the play? My old boss, Noam Gottesman, who was a mentor and a great friend of mine, always believed in not, if you want to scratch your ear, do that. Don't try and put your hand all the way around your head. Don't try and overcomplicate trades because they blow up. If you want to take money off the table, take money off the table. I think I don't like the mid curving stuff. I really don't. I've seen people lose money in more ways than you can ever imagine. I've lost money in more ways than you can ever imagine. Okay, Rabbi's a good boy. He's a very good boy. It's only because I fed him a lot of fine wine at my house this weekend that he's actually helping out here. Chow Lu, can you give trade ideas with free membership? I actually don't know. I think you can give trade ideas. No, you can't actually. You can't put trade ideas unless you're a Plus member. You can see some of them, but you can't dig into what it is. So that's important. Another one, Sam Gillett. What's your thought on blockchain in sports? Chili's looks an interesting project. I've owned Chili's in the past. I love the idea. I've interviewed him twice on Real Vision. It hasn't really worked yet because the teams aren't fully behind it. So they kind of take the money, but they haven't done it. But I'm still supportive of this idea. Sorry, all these questions coming through. Try a nutra snack. Johnny Walker, Raoul. You spelled my name wrong, Johnny. Question: when you sell your crypto, you're selling to US dollar, your bank, USDC, USDT, something else. So I'm not selling my crypto. I will take some lifestyle chips off the table because whether it's I want to have an extension on the house or do up the house in Little Cayman, or I want to buy something else, or whatever it is, right? Lifestyle chips. So that's into something else, which is a lifestyle asset. I generally prefer to stay in the cycle and then add because I have cash flow, than take it all off. I think timing the cycle has not worked for me, and it doesn't necessarily work for others. Everyone's obsessed by this, obsessed by the cycle. When the people who are the richest are the people who do nothing and buy more in the down cycle. What would I do if I want to take money off? Well, USDC is pretty safe. US dollars in your bank, that's good too. So do what you can. Kelly Ogilvie, are you a believer in the meme coin supercycle hypothesis? How do AI agents interact with this, if so? No, I'm not. Meme coins are like NFTs last cycle. They are getting maximum attention. We are road testing the technology on a much bigger concept, which is social tokens and community tokens and culture. And the whole lot, the entire fucking space will blow up in the end. You can make some good money beforehand. It's really hard. It's not a game for me. I own Smoking Chicken Fish, and I own Doge. That is literally it. I have a little bit of Forest. That is literally it. It's too difficult. You have to be super focused. You have to be in them fast, out fast. You have to understand. I'm a too long-term time horizon guy. You need to understand this attention, trading attention. How do AI agents interact? All this AI agent stuff is utter nonsense right now. These aren't AI agents. These are people training GPTs to say stuff on the internet and do a bit of scraping of data. That's not a true AI agent. But again, we're testing stuff here. By next cycle, it's all going to be true AI agents, and meme coins will be AI agent coins and social tokens and all of the other things. So it's a testing cycle. Sorry, I've got so many questions coming through. Derek Anderson, what are your top 3 most memorable, impactful wine experiences of all time? As you can tell, that's floored me, Derek. I'm looking around me because I've got some of my favorite wines of all time here. I think when I was young, it was my 18th birthday. My father took me out to dinner at a fancy restaurant in Maidenhead in Berkshire, where I grew up. And I was allowed to choose the wine. And I chose a wine called Chateau Parma, which was a Margaux. I didn't realize it was such a great wine, but it kind of opened my eyes to great wines. Then my dad, again, when I graduated university, he took me out for lunch in London. We went to a Spanish restaurant, and this was back in what, 1990. And he said, well, you can choose any wine. And I chose a 1954, which was at the time, whatever it was, 40-year-old wine. 1954, Marquesa Murrieta, Castillo y Gay, Rioja. And my love affair with old Rioja started. I then quit GLG Partners, quit the city. I was moving to Spain, and I went with an old mate of mine for a Spanish lunch, and he was leaving too. He was leaving Lehman or Goldman, and Mike Burton. And we went out for lunch, and there was the same 1954 wine, but now it was 10 years later. So from 1990, it was now 2004, 14 years later. And I managed to have the same wine again. And it was so good, the owners of the restaurants came and joined us. And again, it was not expensive. I mean, it was really stupid cheap. And that was another great wine. And another one, I'm going to keep reusing these old Riojas, is I had my birthday here 2 years ago, and we had 1970 Viña Tondonia Gran Reserva from Lopez de Heredia. Fucking amazing wine. Like the greatest wine of all time for me. So there's a bunch of Riojas, but then there's times when I've drunk cheap, terrible wine with a paella under an orange tree in Spain. I've drunk endless amounts of cava with friends. I've done, wine is not about how special it is. It's about how special the occasion is. And it's just a marker stone for how special an occasion is. So those are the ones I can think of right now that kind of blew me away forever. If you think about this, look what I'm wearing. Banana Zone. You can't believe how special a time we are all in together. And we are all in this moment in time. We're all doing the same thing. Me, you, everybody. And even this Real Vision merch is going to be with me as a marker stone forever, because it's hilarious times. It's like one of the reasons I buy NFTs, and many of us buy, a nice watch, is to mark this stuff. So I do think go to the merch store. It's on the platform, left-hand side. Click the picture of a t-shirt, order something, because you'll remember these times forever. It doesn't cost you a lot to do, and it's a lot of fucking fun. And we will figure out stuff around the Miami gathering around this. Right, more questions, more questions. We're already out of time, but I knew that was going to be happening. Timothy Harris. Tim is always one of the best commenters and a super sweetheart. He's always doing nice things. Raoul, you're a legend and a blessing. Thank you, Tim. It's incredibly kind. Hey, Raoul, what is your why for why you do this? By the way, thanks for your help. It helped me stop working full time and do it. That's why, Matthew, is I'm so lucky to have had all the knowledge that I've had. When I started Real Vision, it was to help people because I saw how angry they were. Occupy Wall Street, the indignados in Spain. I realized that people wanted to take control of their own finances and they didn't know how and they didn't have the information. And they were fed bullshit by newspapers and Wall Street and everybody else. And everybody wanted their money and they wanted to take a slice and they wanted gatekeepers. And it's like, fuck all of that. We're going to help everybody. And you know what? It's incredibly rewarding because I make money, you guys make money. I do so much publicly that's not behind the paywall. Those of you who subscribe to Pro Macro, you understand how much I do, or GMI, or even the macro investing tool. But I also do a lot publicly because why the fuck not? Anything else would be selfish. This is the biggest macro trade of all time. Bring as many people through as possible and help as many people unfuck their future as possible. Is that not the greatest thing I can do? I'll make plenty of money in that process too. So that is the way, and that's why I do it. Right, we are. Paul O'Neill, new Plus member this cycle, new to crypto, so need some guidance. Totally worthwhile as you get great insight and also avoid the echo chamber nonsense. Yeah, Plus tier is really useful. There's also the entire Real Vision Academy. If you've not checked that out, it's free. We built an incredible education kind of set of modules out there built around the show that I did with the BBC called Million Dollar Traders with my friend Lex Van Dam. We bought the rights off Lex, built this whole education module, and then keep adding to it. It's all there. Just go to the left-hand side, look at the education, the kind of hat thing. It's all there for you. Real Vision Plus. It'll educate you on all of this, how to think about risk, how to think about business cycle, how to think about crypto, how to create portfolios, everything. It's all there. How to think about options from Imran. It's all there. So for God's sake, if you haven't signed up to Plus, you should do. Ryan Ferguson. Raoul, if you're doing a trip across Europe, where would you go? What are some must-see places for an uncultured American? Firstly, I appreciate you realizing that Americans are uncultured, and I want to help you. It's one of my other missions because I actually like Americans. They're very, very lovely people. But Christ, what is it with those Wrangler jeans and those white fucking trainers? What is it with the goatees? As soon as you're over 50, you have to have some sort of goatee. What is it? I need to help you guys. Or if you're in finance, you need to wear a Patagonia vest. Christ, fashion in America is not a big thing, right? Okay. Trip across Europe, where'd you go? Obvious ones, London and Paris. Rome's pretty cool. I think you have to do Spain. You have to go to Madrid, Barcelona, Valencia, down to Granada, Sevilla, up to San Sebastian. You should probably do south of France, slightly inland and away from the usual bullshit places. Go to Provence, eat the food, see, drink the wine. I think you should go to the Greek islands. I think you should go to Prague. You should definitely go to Germany. Germany's a gorgeous country, hugely underrated. You should cycle around Amsterdam. You should get up to annoy Andreas Steno Larsen up in Copenhagen. Go up to the Arctic Circle in Jukkasjärvi in northern Sweden. Catch the train up there. You should go through Eastern Europe, Croatia, see the coast, Montenegro. I mean, Europe, there's almost too much to do. But if you want to do one trip, I do London, Paris, Spain. And I know I bleat on about Spain, but it is amazing. Americans always think, "Oh my God, it's Italy. I love Italy. It's so amazing." It's nothing. The fucking Italians go on holiday to Spain. It's so much better. The food is better. People are more vibrant. Um, the uh, the history is equally as diverse and amazing. The country is equally as diverse and amazing. It's cheaper than Italy, and so I'm sorry, I'm giving Italy over Spain, and definitely Italy and Spain over France, although Paris is currently my favorite European capital city. Love Paris. Uh, all of these cities go through their boom and bust cycles. Right now, Paris and Madrid are the best cities. Amsterdam's pretty good. London's bloody awful right now. And London's been the best city in the world in the past. Like New York is just fucking awful right now. London and New York are not in their good phase. And they will come back because they're two of the greatest cities on earth. Um, Christian Guidi, right, we're going to stop soon. Raoul, thanks again for your help. Do you see another 2 or 3x in Sol and Sui? Do you get my tweet about Serb robotics last month? I get thousands of tweets, so I'm sorry if I didn't. I don't really know. 2 or 3x in Sol or Sui. Sol is what, 200 and something? Will it go up to 600 for sure? I still think Sol goes to 1,000, but maybe it doesn't. Maybe it goes to 600. So yeah, Sui, 3x. Where are we now? 4.5. Yeah, I'd be bloody surprised if it doesn't even double that. But again, I don't like to be stuck to, oh, Raoul, he said, he told me, he promised me it would go up 10x and it went up 7x and Raoul is a cock and I'm going to abuse him on Twitter all day. I don't want to do this stuff. I just don't trust all of you people on the internet with stuff like price targets because you can't understand that I don't know. I'm doing my best. And I'm so burnt from not only the 2022 cycle, but actually the 2018 cycle as well, for the same reasons. Nizar Aladras, end of year discount on Pro Crypto. Um, no, I think they're done, aren't they? I'm not sure. I think it's all done. Yeah, try writing and begging to Milton at realvision.com. Beg to get you in, but I think all the discounts are done now. I don't know where you were before. Um, Jack Bennett. I snagged one of Jack Burston. This is a very old friend of mine. 6 litre bottle of BZ Cuvée, which is Banana Zone Cuvée. It's a fucking 6 litre, 8 bottles of wine, special he made for Real Vision people. Um, it is, I bought one too, and it comes with, I mean, it's like $3,500 worth of wine and stuff, but it comes with a membership to Club de Van, which is an amazing NFT wine community that many of you on Real Vision will know. And it comes with a whole bunch of other stuff. And you get this incredible wine that goes into storage at um, Bordeaux City Bond, I think it is. I bought it. It was ludicrous price, $1,000. Um, Contemplating drinking it with Jack in Sydney or in place in the collection pile. What would be your move? I'm going to store mine for a bit because it was the first wine Jack made on the over the line. It is higher alcohol than where both he and Peter want to do it. And so for me and my palate, I would like to store it a little bit longer. So I'm going to store it for a while. But if you go and see Jack in Sydney, then go and take him another nice bottle of wine, give him a hug from me, and share it with him because he shares a lot. He's always incredibly generous with his wines. So take something really special up there. Those of you, I don't know if somebody can add the link to the Club de Van um, um, over the line wine. It's really important to me. I want to sell it out. Jack has fought the wine industry. He's got one of the greatest winemakers in all of Australian history. And the wine industry, the restaurant industry won't stock it because he's an independent. And I want to show what a Web3 community can do, that we can take all of his wine, which is incredible wine, and sell it out. So, guys, if you're going to buy somebody something for Christmas, buy Jack's wine. watch the video. Somebody, again, please, Paul, anybody, put the link of the video, watch the video, and buy all of Jack's $250 bottle as a thank you for everything that we've done for you guys to celebrate Christmas and New Year. Anyway, sorry, I cut Paul. Paul's trying to tell me blah, 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 Real Vision feed, blah, 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 whatever. Just buy Jack's wine. It's important to me. It's important to Jack. It's important to show that the little guy, David, has a chance to beat Goliath. And it's fucking good wine, and it's stupidly underpriced. Anyway, everyone, I'm left to say Merry Christmas. Have an incredible holiday season. Get some rest. Drink some fine wine. Try and avoid Bud Light and Doritos. You can eat Monster Munch, but in short supply. Christmas dinner is literally one of the most awful inventions known to mankind. Much like Thanksgiving. In fact, Thanksgiving is fucking slop. It's the worst meal I've ever eaten. I refuse to eat it, but English Christmas dinner, not much better. Australians, at least you can have a barbecue. So good on you all. Thank you for listening to my insults, listening to my alpha, supporting Real Vision. Thank you all. Have a fantastic Christmas. And here's to an amazing 2025. Take care out there.